Hey everyone, today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Sceptre C27 curved gaming monitor. I did receive this sample from Sceptre directly, but I want you to know that any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this gaming monitor or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Here's a look at the back side of the monitor. Pay attention to the nice little red graphic we have in the top corner. DC in, that's going to be for your power. 3 HDMI ports. They are labeled too. HDMI 1.4, HDMI 1.4, and then HDMI 2.0. And our one DisplayPort 1.2 port in purple there, followed by our green audio out port. Now on the display, you'll see we have our UFO test. This test is just giving us different FPS values so you can come to appreciate the 240 Hertz refresh rate. Look at how smooth that is. So it's very noticeable in person. UFO sputtery, shaky down here, looks way better at 120, but there is still a noticeable difference in the UFO moving across the screen at 240 FPS. Not to be confused with the previous UFO test, but now we're looking at a UFO ghosting test here. And typically you'll have a pursuit camera lined up and you'll be able to measure and see if there's any ghosting. Well, in this case, it is noticeable just looking at it here as the UFO moves across the screen. We've done a lot of technical tests, so let's just have some fun doing a simple test right here where we just browse the web. Just want you guys to see that everything's working properly, very responsive. The curve would be better if you had two maybe side by side. You might appreciate having that curvature. Now we're trying out and sampling the built-in speakers on this monitor. Keep in mind volume is at 100 right now. When we adjusted it from 50, which was the default, up to 100, we didn't notice any change in actual volume to the speakers and how loud it got. So these are definitely going to be your typical and stereotypical monitor speakers. So this monitor does have built-in RGB lighting on the backside. It's really a nice touch. I love how they look. Now we're going to be testing out the input lag on this monitor. Keep in mind, input lag is different from response time. This has an advertised response time of 1 millisecond measured MPRT. We're showing an input lag of 12.7 milliseconds up at the top, followed by 14.6-ish. Down at the bottom, you'll see right at around 16 to 16.5 milliseconds. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, let's try this thing out with some games. Haven't forgotten about you console gamers. We have a PlayStation 5 here. Wanted to show you what it's like to connect the monitor to it and what you can expect. So resolution supported 1920 1080p at 60 Hertz. But if you want to take advantage of that higher refresh rate, make sure you have 120 Hertz output enabled so you can enjoy some 1080p 120 Hertz gaming, assuming your game supports it. Now, for you Xbox users out there, you'll see we have an Xbox Series X connected to our Sceptre display, and we're getting our full 1080p resolution at what I believe is 60 Hertz, because if we go over to our TV details here, you'll see it's not supporting 120 Hertz or 120 FPS. So keep that in mind. Just assume at a minimum, you'll be getting your 1080p 60 Hertz gaming experience with your Xbox and this monitor.